Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Check out that awesome background design, that is really cool. So today I am going to be talking about the Time Guardians maze. We're going to be going over how to maximize the number of maze coins you can get so you can actually get these monsters. Because based on historical data, it is possible to get these new amazing monsters completely free to play. You're just going to have to be pretty active. So let me read through this. The Time Guardian maze brings you a brand new monster. Kungzonian Guard is a light attacker with high life and sustainability in battle. His evolving trait gives him stun immunity at rank 0, tough, which is a 35% chance to not get hit with negative effects at rank 1, and in rank 3 he becomes a status caster that triggers space time, so your whole team gets space time, they can't get hit with attacks at the beginning of the battle. He deals out quite high damage and is able to increase it with damage boost. Kungzonian Guard rids himself of negative effects and even gets an extra churn. Plus he has some tortures like Curse and Bleeding too. So he's going to be the first monster. What SocialPoint is doing now, they're splitting the maze into two different phases, each lasting 1 week. During the first week, you get to get this monster, Kungzonian Guard, and then next week you get to do the other monster. Now the things I'm going to tell you in this video, they also go to the other to the next week. So all the mazes are the same essentially. All the information you're going to learn here, you can take it forward to future mazes. But let's keep going. We have Elite Days starting tomorrow, we have the Duel of Challenges, Elvira's month. Okay, we can exit out. So let's just talk about the maze. So we'll start by clicking on the maze. So one other thing SocialPoint always has done historically is during the very first hour they give you a 30% discount. So you're totally able to move during this 30% discount. So I'm not going to move quite yet. I want you to notice that you start with 150 coins, okay? And then if you click on the question mark icon, it literally tells you exactly what you need to do to get maze coins, and it tells you how many maze coins you can get. So this maze help little icon is very useful. So as you can see, it says welcome to the maze. Collect maze coins by performing various actions in the game. Collecting golden food, fighting multiplayer battle, breed, hatch, and feeding monsters. But remember, there is a limit. Come back at different times to get the greatest number of maze coins possible. And so pay close attention to this because this is really all you need to know. This is all you've ever needed to know moving forward. The number of maze coins you can get, it tells you right there. The max amount of maze coins you can get is right there. And the time limit you have to watch out for is 4 hours. Every 4 hours you can get 30 items, 30 maze coins for collecting food, 50 for collecting, let me restart. You can get 30 for collecting gold, 50 for collecting food, 30 for feeding your monsters, 15 for player versus player, 50 for breeding and hatching. That is it. Every 4 hours you can get those amounts. If you log in every 2 hours, well, you would only get half of that. You would get like 25 for collecting gold. 15 for collecting gold, 25 for collecting food. So the easiest thing you can do, and that way it's less work on you, is to log in every 4 hours. Instead of having to log in every hour and just get like little maze coins at a time, honestly, just do every 4 hours, and there's a super easy way to keep track. So I'm going to go through it. So here, let me exit out. So the first thing I recommend is, well, collect your gold. You can simply press collect all. You'll probably notice you won't get any maze coins, that's completely fine. And then collect your food. You can collect all of your food, that's fine. So when you collect food, here's what I recommend. One of your farms, hopefully you have a huge farm, plant a black lotus root. The rest can be a blue lizard tail. That's all you need, watch. I'll just do those two. For collecting gold, after you've pressed collect gold, you can press collect gold on one habitat, and as you can see I got my plus 30. Going back to the Time Maze Guardian, I got my 30 for collecting gold. So that's good. I'm going to work on feeding a monster. It doesn't matter who you feed. Like collecting gold, you'll notice that the first monster I feed, I won't get anything. You kind of have to like click it to start it or something. So you can feed a monster a couple times, you can exit out. What I do notice is that if you feed a low level monster, like a level 1 monster, and you feed them to level 4 and then you go back and collect, you probably won't get the full amount. So I always like to do high level monsters. Alright, I'm going to collect food and check that out. Plus 50. So always do some high item like the black lotus root and then blue lizard tail, and you get your 50. So clicking back on the Time Guardian maze, I collected my food, I collected my, I collected my food and my gold. That's 30 and 50. I should have 80. I started with 150, now I have 230. That is perfect. Let's go back to feeding. Where's the monster I was feeding? Check this out. I'm going to click it once and bam, plus 30. See, I am getting the full maximum amount. That's because when the maze events first starts, you can collect the max amount. So I have my 30 for collecting food, my 50 for collecting food, my 30 for feeding, and my 30 for collecting gold. I am missing my 100 for breeding and hatching combined, and my 15 for PvP. So I want to do PvP first. I'm going to do PvP first. What I recommend to everyone is to put a very weak defense team. That is not a weak defense team. Put a super weak defense team on. and that's because you want to be sure to lose the battles. Because when you lose your battles, when people defeat your defense team, you get some really easy battles, as opposed to what happens if you're too high in the leagues. You have some really tough opponents. So watch, luckily my team can just auto and win this very easily, but you're gonna see what happens when I go above 5.5k trophies. The battles get pretty tough. Like, suddenly everyone has Warmasters, suddenly everyone has level 130 monsters, so I definitely don't want to face that. But the important thing about PvP is that you actually need to win. It's not just battle PvP, you actually need to win. So when you do win, you'll get your 15 maze coins, and then be sure you don't exit out. If you're used to exiting out, do not do that. You have to spin the roulette wheel, because take a look at that. There's maze coins in the roulette wheel. So definitely always be sure to spin your roulette wheel. Hopefully you can get your maze coin. So you want to win as many PvP battles as possible during this event. See what happens? Suddenly there's Nemesis, there's a Worm Lab, there's a Ragnarök. Oh my gosh. Here, let me refresh. Look at that. 130, 130, 115. Okay, I think I can beat the middle base. Probably not. Here we'll auto. We'll recharge. Deadly Artifice, Healing Flesh. I lost a monster. Oh no. How to Kill Dragon. Restore the Dream. Here, I'll restore the Dream. I can't blind, so maybe I must scream. Hopefully I land deny. Nope. Invisible Hunter. Ooh, that almost killed me. Alright, we're Dragon Slayers. And then we can do How to Kill Your Dragon. And then we can single target. Alright, so I got this one too. Go Robot for Total Blind. And Recharge. And Deep Thought. And there we go. Awesome. So again, it gets tougher. So put a weak defense team. You want to lose on purpose your defense, so you can have easy revenge battles. And again, you want to win every PvP, because you want to spin the roulette wheels as many times as possible to try to get those maze coins. So once again, as you can see, as my trophies climb up, the battles get harder and harder. So you want to avoid that as much as possible. You could also, if you want, you can lose some battles on purpose at the beginning just to lower your trophies. And then, yeah, that weak defense team, that's the easiest way to go about it. Alright, this one I can win. Stop its fire time, activate cooldowns, and then Wormlad can wreak havoc. So we will do, we'll do How to Kill Your Dragon first. Then we'll do Dragon Slayers. Then we'll single target, let's do you. And then we'll try to deny everyone. I must scream. Awesome. We will do True Power. Awesome. It's just Baylor now, and he has DOT. Block out the sun, and GG. Cool. I won all 3 battles. I get to spin 3 times. And you want to land, you definitely want to land on here, because you get 50 coins if you land on there. And I missed. You could pay 1 gem to respin, although I don't know how effective that is. Sometimes like players get lucky, sometimes it feels like you have a really good chance. Sometimes it doesn't, so I'm not going to do it, but I want to demonstrate it right there. So we pretty much went through all the different ways you can get maze coins, with the exception of breeding and hatching. I always save those to the end, and the reason you want to do that is because, here, let me sell my Thunder Eagle. The reason you want to do that is because you always want to breed a Thunder Eagle. Notice what happened when I bred Thunder Eagle. It's 4 hours, right? Let me press repeat. It's going to be a Thunder Eagle. It's 4 hours. Look, I got my 50 maze coins. The reason you always want to do Thunder Eagle is because of the time. He takes exactly 4 hours. So I can sell this monster now, and look, I got my 50 maze coins. So as you can see, I started off with 150, and I told you you can get 225. So I have officially confirmed I got my 225 maze coins. That is the maximum amount I can get every 4 hours. So basically now, if I go and leave and do some stuff and come back, and then when I log into the game, if I notice there's still time on this Thunder Eagle, on the one that's hatching, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not going to collect gold, I'm not going to collect food, because 4 hours haven't passed. You can use this as your timer. Now, I still recommend putting a timer on your phone so you can actually know when you last logged in. But the cool thing about this, again, is that you can see when you last logged in. And the same actually really applies to multiplayer. Notice that your attacks recharge every 2 hours. So once you have 2 attack points, you know that 4 hours would have passed. But that's honestly the simplest, easiest way to do it. Log in every 4 hours and you'll be good to go. And then you'll notice I can collect gold, I can collect food, and I won't get any more maze coins because, well, I already got the maximum amount. Now, the other super important thing when it comes to the mazes is happy hour. The only time you ever want to move is during happy hour. That is the only time. So right now, like I said, there's a 30% discount. This is the time that's worth moving. So as you're gonna see, I am gonna move. And why? Because it costs 30% less to move my monsters. So you can see the cost says 40, but then it's kind of like scratched off and it says 28. That's because it is costing me 30% less to move my monsters. So that is the only time you want to move. Now, historically, SocialPoint, we don't know whether or not they're going to do a 30% discount during the middle of the maze. Last time they didn't do it for the first week, but they did it for the second week for the second monster. They did, however, I believe, do a 20% discount. So, you know, just my advice is never ever move unless there is a discount, specifically a 20 or a 30% discount. If anything, I would just hold on to your maze coins until the very end of the event, because historically, again, I can't confirm this, but historically, SocialPoint has always given a discount during the very last hour of the event. During the last hour of the maze, so in 7 days and 21 hours, or 20 hours and 7 minutes, there's going to be a 20% discount based on historical data. So that's when you want to move your final steps, so you can maximize the number of maze coins, essentially, so you can utilize them more, and you can hopefully get the last monster. Now, here's the thing. There is also going to be a limited edition monster pathway, okay? And it's either going to be Sunblast or it's going to be Lum. I've been hearing it's Lum, so it's one or the other. If it's Lum the Magical Matriarch, I would honestly recommend go for Lum. Get yourself that Lum, because it is a very good nemesis monster. So get yourself Lum. It's gonna be easier than getting Crimsonian Guard. Crimsonian Guard is gonna require you to actually put in some effort. Like I said, log in every 4 hours. And I mean, you can kind of do the math yourself, right? If you get 225 maze coins every 4 hours, think about how many intervals of 4 hours are you logging in. If you were only to log in twice a day, well, you would do 225 times 2, you get 500 maze coins per day. If you log in 4 times a day, that's 225 times 4, you'd get 900 maze coins per day. I imagine most people can do at least 4 logins. Okay, I always like to give the example. Let's say you wake up and you play the game at 8 a.m. and then 4 hours later, you play at 12 a.m. That's already 2 logins. And then 4 hours later at 4 p.m. that's 3 logins. And then 4 hours later at 8 p.m. that's your 4th login. That's your 900 maze coins. But then you can play in 2 hours. Let's say you sleep at 10 p.m. So then you're going to get like half your amount of maze coins. That's 1,000 maze coins a day. And then you restart essentially the cycle when you wake up. So if you can get 1,000 maze coins a day, you can calculate, okay, I'm going to have around 7,000 maze coins by the end of the event. But wait, there's more, because SocialPoint will most likely have a Monster Wood event where you can get maze coins. They tend to do that, and they're probably also going to have a dungeon where you can get like 1,000 maze coins. So that's an extra amount of maze coins to your pocket, essentially. They're also most likely going to have a breeding event where every time you fail to get the monster, you'll get 75. Every time you get an epic monster, you'll get 75 maze coins. Every time you successfully breed the monster during the breeding event, you'll get 225 maze coins. So SocialPoint gives you a lot of additional ways to get maze coins. So it's definitely possible to get the final monster. It's definitely possible to even get them ranked up. But again, if there's a Lum the Magical Matriarch, I would say go for Lum. If there's a Sunblast, I would honestly say if you're not willing to put in the effort for the guard, you might as well get Sunblast. He's probably going to be easy. And for Sunblast or for Lum, whoever it is, the cool thing about the limited edition pathway is there's also a discount during that pathway. Although that one typically tends to be a 10%, we've never seen a 20 or 30% discount for the limited edition monster. So I would say if you do see a 10% discount for the limited monster, be sure to move then. Otherwise, you don't need to move. And then one last tip when it comes to breeding, if you breed a Thunder Eagle and you don't get any maze coins, really quickly, instead of pressing repeat on that Thunder Eagle, really quickly do a Pandakin breed, so breed Fire and Nature, and do like hatch a quick little Pandakin, and then you should get your maze coins, because that seems to be an issue sometimes, especially when you're using your ultra breeding tree or your other breeding spot to try to breed something else. So right now there's the Devastress event going on. Fortunately, I got Devastator, so I'm going to be able to participate in that. So I don't really need to worry about that. So I'm just going to be waiting for the future breeding event. But yeah, that's my advice there. So I think I pretty much told you all you need to know about the event. As for Crimsonian Guard, I kind of did a mini analysis on him, but now that he's officially out, I will be doing more of a review on him. So you can stay tuned for that. And then later, I'm going to release costs on how much it actually costs to get this monster, how much it costs to get him ranked up. But don't worry about that right now. Right now, the only thing you should focus on is collecting your maze coins. Thank you very much. I'm Armor Gaming. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below. I will see you all next time. Best of luck to all of you.